Top 5 financial regrets for individuals over the age of 50 and how you can avoid these financial regrets, especially if you are heading into retirement. That's what we're going to talk about today on the Your Financial EKG YouTube channel. The number one regret that many individuals have over the age of 50, 57% of respondents said this, their number one regret is not saving enough for retirement. You know, the biggest fear when individuals are surveyed is running out of money in retirement. And so this is not unusual to see this regret, not saving enough for retirement. And actually, if you look at recent studies from Vanguard and Fidelity, they will confirm that we aren't saving enough for retirement. Look at this. The average amount saved for an individual who is 25 to 34 is $37,211. The median save for retirement is $14,000. Ages 35 to 44, the average save for retirement, $97,020. The median, $36,117. The average save for retirement for those 45 to 54, now we're getting closer to that retirement age, $179,200. The median, $61,530. Keep in mind, the average and the median are totally different. What the average is it takes everyone's average savings for retirement, everyone's savings for retirement, and it averages it. So you've got like a Bill Gates at the top, and you got 20-year-olds with zero at the bottom, and it averages it. So it skews the actual number for Americans. The median takes that same list, goes right to the middle, and it's a better outlook on what the actual savings for Americans in retirement based on an age range actually is. So for 45 to 54, the median saved is $61,530. Ages 55 to 64, the average is $256, but the median is only $89,716, and the average retirement age is 64 years old. So individuals are retiring at 64 with $90,000 saved for retirement. No wonder their biggest fear is running out of retirement savings, and their biggest regret, the number one regret, 57% of respondents in a recent survey said their biggest regret is not saving enough for retirement. So how can you not have the biggest regret for most individuals over the age of 50? Well, first of all, you can create a budget. Now, a budget is going to help you understand how much money's coming in and how much money's going out. A budget is also going to help you save more for retirement, because you can look at your actual spending and decide, do I need to keep spending money on this? Are there ways I can put more money into my 401k, my IRA? Keep in mind, if you're over the age of 50, you not only can put up the max amount, but you also have a catch-up contribution for your 401k, 403b, Roth IRA, and IRA. So if you're saving for retirement and you're over the age of 50, you want to be looking for ways that you can save more. If you're maxing everything out, look for ways that you can put money in a taxable brokerage account, and you start with a budget. Another way that you can save more for retirement and not have the number one regret that 57% of respondents had is understand the 25X rule. Now, the 25X rule is going to give you a good foundation for saving for retirement. And what the 25X rule does is it allows you to understand, or really to get a visual, how much money do I need saved for retirement? And the 25X rule is really simple. So I actually just want to use a yellow notepad and a marker. And I want to show you how the 25X rule works and how you can implement it today. So let's say you're 50 years old and you want to retire at 60. And let's say that your annual expenses today is $50,000. So what the 25X rule says is take your annual expenses and multiply that by 25. So 25, let's get out the old calculator. So 25 multiplied by 50,000 is $1,250,000. So what the 25X rule says is that you need $1,250,000 saved for retirement before you start thinking about, can I retire? And the reason the 25X rule works so well is because it gives you a visual. Hey, I need to have this much saved for retirement if I'm planning on stepping into retirement soon. Now, obviously, Social Securities and pensions and taxes and inflation, all that needs to be calculated in, especially if you're stepping into retirement. But the biggest regret for 57% of respondents on a recent survey was not saving enough. The 25X rule is going to help you understand how much have I saved and how much do I need to save for retirement. And don't think that just because you have a little bit saved now, you're not going to get to your goal within the 25X rule. Do not despise small beginnings. And let me show you what I mean by that. I want to use again, I want to make this really simple for you so that you don't think that this is overly complicated or that you need, you know, some kind of extreme calculation to get to where you need for retirement. Let me show you again. Let's use a piece of yellow pad and a marker. Let's say you've got $50,000 saved for retirement. And let's say that you're 40 years old, okay? So you're 40 years old and you've got $50,000 saved for retirement. And let's say that you understand that you need to work about 25 more years. You need to get to age 65 because one, you're going to go on Medicare, so that's going to bring your health care costs down. Two, that's going to get you pretty close to full retirement age for Social Security. You know, 67 is full retirement age. So if you can work for 25 years, you're at 40 years old, you've got $50,000 saved for retirement. And let's assume that you do a budget and you find $500 extra that you can save per month for retirement. So you're going to add an extra $500 into your retirement savings monthly because at 40, you're thinking about your 65-year-old self. You're not thinking about your 40-year-old self saying, I got to get all this new stuff, Stanley Cups and iPhone 14s or whatever. I got to get to 65 so I can retire. And so you've got $500 extra in retirement savings that you can do that. And let's just say you earn what the market earns, which is an 8% rate of return. So you take that $500, you invest that right into the stock market, you get an 8% rate of return. At the end of 25 years, you would have $842,000 saved for retirement. $842,000. And that doesn't include 401k matches. That doesn't include bonuses, salary increases. That's just strictly putting $500 in per month over 25 years. That's a lot of money, and you can eliminate the regret that 57% of people have, especially over the age of 50, that you have not saved enough for retirement. All right, the second regret that most individuals over the age of 50 have, especially when it comes to their finances, is not having a long-term care plan. Yes, not having a plan for long-term care. Now, I'm not talking about long-term care insurance. That could be your plan, but I'm talking about just in general, not having a plan for your long-term care, because the average cost of long-term care here in America is around $9,000 or $10,000, and that is only going to increase as time goes on. And keep in mind, most individuals think Medicare is going to cover their long-term care, but in reality, that is false. Medicare does not cover your long-term care. So let me show you what Medicare actually does cover when it comes to your hospitalization and your skilled nursing care. So this is what does Part A cover. Medicare Part A is your hospitalization, your major issues. Part B on Medicare is like your doctor's visits. So what does Part A cover? Well, Part A covers inpatient care in a hospital. It covers inpatient care in a skilled nursing facility, not custodial or long-term care, not custodial or long-term care. It does cover hospice care, a little bit of home health care, and inpatient care in a religious non-medical health care institution. So, Medicare is not going to cover your long-term care, and Medicare Advantage and Medicare supplements are also not going to cover chronic, long-duration, long-term care. So you need a plan. You need a plan for your long-term care because the cost of long-term care is rising every day. Let me show you this easy website you can go to. This is Genworth Cost of Care Survey, and you can go here and see exactly how much cost of care for long-term care would cost you in your state. So let's go to Kentucky. I'm from Kentucky, so I like using Kentucky. And we can go down here and we can say, okay, I'm going to retire in the year 2030, so I'll be 60 in the year 2030. The average individual needs long-term care somewhere in their mid-80s. So in 2030, I'll be 60, so 25 years after that, let's go to 2050. So look at this. Monthly median cost in Kentucky, 2021 versus 2051, okay? The 2051 cost for in-home care, $11,000 monthly. How about home health aid? 11,571. Community and assisted living, so an adult daycare, $4,000 in 2051. Assisted living facility, $8,369. Nursing home, 2051 cost, $17,423, and a private room, almost $20,000 per month. That's why it is so important for you to have some sort of long-term care plan. 40% of people over the age of 50 regretted not having that plan. All right, the third regret that individuals over the age of 50 had, according to a recent survey, 37% of respondents regretted not working long enough. Yeah, I said it, not working long enough. 37% of individuals said they wish they had worked longer so they could have saved more for retirement. And this goes back to number one. Remember, regret number one was not saving more for retirement. So working and saving for retirement go hand in hand. So 37% of people said they wish they had worked longer so they could have saved more. Now you might be asking, how much do I need to have saved for retirement before I retire? Well, let me show you a really good chart from Fidelity that explains exactly how much you should have in retirement savings before you think about retiring. So, this is Saving Factors to help you on your journey to retirement. This is a Fidelity PDF. Now, at age 30, you should have 1 times your starting salary saved for retirement. So, if you make $50,000 a year, you want at least $50,000 saved for retirement. And it goes up with age. So, if you're 55 years old, you want at least 7 times your salary saved for retirement. So, if you make $100,000 a year, you want at least $700,000 saved for retirement. Now, is that going to help you? Can I retire at 55 with $700,000? Well, we need to do an analysis on that. It's probably not enough, especially with inflation, and historically, people are living longer now. But this is a really good idea of how much you need as a benchmark at the bottom if you want to retire, especially if you're thinking about retiring early. So remember, 37% of people said that they regretted not working long enough. Now, the Fidelity chart is a really good chart, and remember from the first step, the 25X rule. Take your annual expenses, multiply those by 25, and that'll give you another benchmark that you need to look at and say, okay, I need to have this much saved before I retire. All right, the fourth regret that individuals over the age of 50 had, 40% of individuals had this regret, and that is not investing in a lifetime income annuity. Now, what do I mean by a lifetime income annuity? Essentially, you take a chunk of your retirement savings, you give it to an insurance company, and they pay you a lifetime income for the rest of your life. The income is based on your age, it's based on if you're single, if you're married, and so that income becomes a guaranteed stream along with Social Security. Now listen, I'm not here to sell you an annuity. It's a tool in the toolbox in retirement planning. But I just want you to understand this was a major regret that individuals over the age of 50 had. Why? Market volatility, the volatility on retirement income, and the comfort in having guaranteed streams. Remember, Social Security is your only guaranteed stream of income in retirement, unless you have a pension from a government or where you work. And pensions are kind of going on their way out. It's really 401ks and IRAs. Pensions are a very small portion of my client base. And so what an annuity does is it gives an individual who is nervous about their retirement income some stability and comfort with their retirement income. Now, there's some things you want to look for if you're buying an annuity for your retirement income. The first thing is you want something that is very simple. It doesn't have a lot of moving levers. The second thing you want to look for is something without any fees. And the third thing is you want that guaranteed income. And if you need help with that, holler at me. I'd be happy to help you. But let me show you an illustration that I did for a client recently. Now remember, this is just a tool in the toolbox. It's not for everybody, but it's just something that we use to help certain individuals. Now, this is the illustration, and let me tell you this, the values in this table are not guaranteed. So again, this is an illustration. Just like when we're talking about market money and hypothetical returns, we're just looking at what the past has happened so we can have a good idea for the future. Now with this annuity, this person put in $300,000 at age 55. They're going to start collecting income at age 65. Now this annuity doesn't have any fees, and it also has an enhanced lifetime yearly income rider, which allows them to take out extra income if needed for long-term care. But let's just skip that. So in this case, at year 1, right, that's when they started, 55 to 56. So we're going to take income here in year 10. This annuity, if they decide to take income, is going to guarantee $25,866 annually, and you can break that down monthly, for the rest of their life. And so this gives them that cornerstone bedrock income should they need that for the rest of their life. Now look at this too. If in the event that, let me go back up here. This is if the contract had no growth at all, so effectively no growth. At 65, they'd have $20,000, so about $5,000 less in income if the market and this annuity had no growth at all for 10 years. But even if the money's out, see, here's the money gone. They put in the $300,000. It's gone down here. They're still getting that $20,000. So that is the income annuity. That's the guarantees on the retirement income. Again, it doesn't fit everybody. It's not home run style money. It's not going to grow at 9, 10, 11, 12%. It's going to grow somewhere between 4 and 5%. But the purpose of it is to guarantee income for the rest of your life. You don't want all your assets in it. You don't want 90% of your assets in it. You want a portion to help you get to and through and protect your ability to stay in retirement. All right, the last regret that individuals over the age of 50 had, according to a recent survey, 23% said they regretted claiming Social Security too early. It's why you need to have a personalized, individualized Social Security strategy. And you might be claiming Social Security too early. Remember, if you claim Social Security at 62, you're going to get 70% of your full retirement benefit. Let me just show you what I mean. Look at this. This is directly from Social Security's website. So if you claim Social Security at 62, you're going to get 70% of your full retirement benefit. Now, If you claim anywhere between 62 and 67, that 70% is going to increase. So let's say you claim Social Security at 63, you're going to get 75% of your full retirement benefit. You go to 64, you're going to get 80% of your full retirement benefit. How about 64 in 6 months? You'll get 83.3. Are you catching on? Here we go. Age 65, you're going to get 86.7% of your full retirement benefit. Age 66, 93.3. And if you get to 67, you're going to get 100% of your full retirement benefit. Now, between the ages of 67 and 70, your Social Security benefit increases by 8%. If you claim at 70, you get 124% of your full retirement benefit. So it's so important to understand, when am I going to claim Social Security? What are the taxes on my Social Security? The computation of your Social Security tax could be 85%. So it's important to understand, when am I claiming versus where are my other retirement income streams coming from, so that I'm not paying the max in taxes, as well as how is my spouse or my partner going to be affected by when I claim Social Security? All right, let me show you an easy way that you can calculate what your Social Security benefit's going to be, and maybe what the best Social Security benefit for you will be. Now, we're going to use a free website. And let's check this out. This is socialsecurityestimator.com, and you can go here, you can plug in your information, and you can get the same reports that I'm going to generate now. So we're going to do a goal-based report. So we're going to get started on this. And I've already plugged in some information. So we've got Drew and Valerie, male and female. We're married. Now our birth year, that's wrong. Let's say 1963. And let's say 1965 for Valerie. Now, we're not going to use our current birth years because it's not going to work, because my wife and I are in our 30s. So it's really going to work if you're in your 50s and 60s. So full retirement age, because we were born after the year 1960, is 67 years old. If you were born previous to 1960, your full retirement age is going to be 66 in a few months, or 66, or maybe even less, depending on when you were born. Now, do we have any pensions that are non-covered pensions? No. Projected monthly benefit at full retirement age, $2,800 for me, $2,000 for Valerie. Our life expectancy, 81 and 84. So the life expectancy, you can adjust this to however you want. So you can put 90, 95, you can put less than that depending on your family history. So we go to next. Now we have three options. We can take benefits as early as possible. We can see what that looks like. We can receive the maximum amount of cumulative benefits, which means we take benefits at our full retirement age, or at 70, and then we die at 81. How much are we going to receive? Or we can maximize the cumulative benefits for the surviving spouse. So if the surviving spouse was, let's say, 10 years younger, or had a much, much lower Social Security amount, maybe we need to look at taking Social Security at the max for the higher earner to protect the spouse. So we click next on the middle one. And here's what we got. So we can see this. If I file at 62, I would have cumulative benefits of $470,000. If I file at my full retirement age, it would be $504, and if I file at 70, it's $499. So you might be saying, Drew, wait a sec. You file at 70, how do you have less benefits? Well, what the software is saying is, you file at 70 and I die at 81. Or I file at 67, my full retirement age, and I die at 81. So this is just, again, it's just a shot in the dark on when you're going to die. No one knows. Only God knows when you're going to go see him. And so you've got to kind of look at this and say, okay, based on my health history, based on when my parents passed, based on, just kind of averages today, how do I want to look at this, and when do I want to claim Social Security? So for Valerie, it looks very similar, except for her, because her life expectancy is longer. File at 70 would be $505,000 in cumulative benefits versus $480 filing at her full retirement age. So for her, it might make the most sense to wait till 70, whereas for me, it might make the most sense to file at 67. So you see how it's different per person, individualized. So you've got to look at it and say, what makes the most sense for us? Remember, 23% of people said claiming Social Security too early was their regret over the age of 50. So you want to have a personalized, individualized approach, and that's something that we do here for clients to make sure they take Social Security at the appropriate age. We call it the optimal Social Security age. So I hope this video's helped. God bless. Bye-bye.